Good Chodesh and good Erev Shabbos to you, and I hope you're all well. Firstly, Mazel Tov this week. Mazel Tov to Tanya Arden and Lee Arden on the occasion of Eliora's Bat Mitzvah. To Sabrina and Phil Judah on the occasion of the birth of their son. To Adina and Ezra Dolberg on the birth of their daughter. And to Richard Summers and Sarah Foley-Coma on the Bar Mitzvah of their grandson. And to anyone else who's celebrating a birthday or anniversary in the coming week. We wish Refuah Shlema in full and speedy recovery to anyone who's unwell. We wish Aricha Shamim long life to Daniel Coburn and Tracy Baxter on the sad loss of their father, to Jane Galloway on the sad loss of her husband. We wish long life to anyone who's observing a yortzeit in the coming week. You know, with its thunder and lightning, and the sound of the shofar growing ever louder, and the mountain itself on fire, the revelation at Sinai had tremendous drama. And this was in a time even before CGI and special effects. And it's this that makes Mishpatim such a contrast and appears to be somewhat of an anticlimax. Because instead of the iconic 10 Commandments, which are easy to remember, now we're presented with a long list of legislation covering virtually every aspect of life. It includes a vast array of civil laws, how to treat those less fortunate, personal injury, damages, neighbors, responsibility to others, moral behavior, and much more. And so Mishpatim, with its detailed rules and regulations, can sometimes seem somewhat of a letdown after the breathtaking grandeur of the revelation at Sinai. But should it? Is that really how we should view it? Because in reality, this juxtaposition demonstrates Judaism's approach towards religious expression. You see, it's all very well having great moments of inspiration when we feel spiritually uplifted. But in order for them to be sustained, we need to translate them into concrete actions. For the true spiritual impact of Torah to be felt on a constant basis, we have to incorporate all of its teachings into our everyday lives. You know, Rav Hirsch put it so beautifully when he said, "From the cradle to the grave, the Torah accompanies us, teaching us what are the duties for which God has granted us life and means, prescribing for us duties and restraints for every occasion." And in his classification of the mitzvahs, Rav Hirsch explains that Mishpatim are the practical application of the religious truths of Judaism in our lives. In other words, revelation makes Judaism a religion of belief in one God. But it's the laws, Mishpatim, that govern our day-to-day actions that make it much more than just a religion. They make it a way of life. As we begin the month of Adar, we recall the well-known adage, "Mishenichnas Adar marbim besimcha." When Adar starts, we increase our joy. Now, how is that possible, particularly at this time of great challenge? Well, I recently saw this beautiful idea, and let me share it with you. You know, when we think about life, in the center of the word is if. Because life centers around what if this, what if that. It's full of uncertainty, speculation, and anxiety. But the Hebrew word for life is Chaim. And at its center are two Yuds, God's name, because it's all in his hands. And then there's clarity, certainty, and calm. Joy comes from knowing that a higher force is running the world and our lives are in good hands. To have a Torah that covers every eventuality, removes doubt, and should be a source of great joy. As it says in Tehillim, "Pikudei Hashem yisharim mesamchei leiv." God's laws are just, rejoicing the heart. Mitzvos Hashem bara minas einayim. God's instructions are clear, making the eyes light up. When we view Mishpatim, we shouldn't see them as some sort of prosaic set of laws. We should see them as a concretization of the knowledge of God's existence, and to know that God is at the center of our lives, controlling all the important stuff and keeping us safe. Good Shabbos.